Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on Speed Gaming 2 for another edition of the No IM item manipulation / wrong warp tournament here for the Ocarina of Time Randomizer. I'm August 40. Today we are featuring Dav Pat and azder. We are a little different from the normal accessible races. These runners have almost any and all glitches available to them if they so choose to exploit them. Sit back and relax and enjoy the race. I am joined by Bleeding, tracking behind the scenes as well as jumping in here on commentary.
Hi, August.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am ready for this rando race. So a couple things in Mido's house. We found a bow and a gold Skulltula token. The gold Skulltulas in the dungeons are going to be a random item. So we will be seeing a couple Skulltulas in random chests like we have in Mido's house. In addition, we've found some pretty nifty things. We found the hookshot and the bow right away, as well as the Goron tunic in the Kokiri sword chest. So they will more or less have the Forest Temple immediately available to them, minus the song to logically get past Mido. You need either Saria's song or the Miniwata Forest in order to logically get past them. But my guess is these runners are pretty familiar with the Mido skip.
I would imagine. There's a lot of adult goodies early on, so we'll see if they both go early adult here.
Looks like azder is headed straight to Gerudo Valley, as opposed to hitting up that open grotto down in the south. Unless he is listening to the restream, which I don't think he is, but it looks like he has remembered that grotto, or he just takes a different route down there. Meanwhile, it looks like Dav Pat is sticking around the forest, perhaps going Deku Tree early. Tempora Rhapsody, it is not a full Skull Sanity, it's just the ones in the dungeons. So all the Skulltulas that are supposed to be there on the overworld are going to be gold Skulltula tokens. But the ones in the dungeons, they'll have to check for items.
Looks like Dav Pat's using ISG to farm some Deku sticks. I imagine he's going into Deku Tree at this point.
Yep, well, that would be my guess as well. Let's see if he's gonna opt to check the hint stones outside. I saw one of the hints in the Kokiri Forest earlier was that Epona's song is going to be on the Ocarina of Time.
40 Skulls is dead.
Yeah, that's a nice... Looks like Dav Pat is going to head up and over the roof while azder is flying around Gerudo River.
Zora's Fountain foolish.
So that means there's absolutely nothing necessary to complete the seed in Zora's Fountain. Possibly you could find an Adalogic strength upgrade or a bow. Something that's not necessarily required to beat the seed, but it's nice to know we don't have to dig up there unless we need to go into Jabu or Ice Cavern. Hit for Dead Hand in the well. So in addition to the glitches that are available to be exploited, a couple of differences from the accessible rule set is that both the Mask of Truth and the Skull Mask checks are off. And you do have to race Ingo if you want to rescue Epona. But unless it's an all-dungeon seed, we probably won't need to make that check. Another thing is that the weird egg is shuffled. So we have to find that before we can access a couple of the songs. A whole lot of nothing in the Deku tree.
Yeah, there's two of us, but this is my first time, so I'm letting him do most of the heavy lifting right now.
Don't be afraid to jump in whenever you feel like it. Don't be afraid to cut me off if you see something important.
Of course.
It looked like Azder is a fan of Majora's Mask, setting Goron's lullaby for his Scarecrow song.
We've got a slingshot in the Deku tree.
Well, that's a nice find. You know right away that the Deku logic, or killing Goma at least. Big money on child fishing.
Yep. It's not the worst thing to have early on, but won't unlock anything.
It would be pretty unfortunate if he had to farm some rupees before that. You always want to make sure you come down here with a 20 in your pocket. And Zora tunic down here in the Deku tree. Ooh, and it looks like Davpat also found a pack of bomb chews. Those are in logic. The first pack you find is guaranteed to be a 20 pack. You got plenty to do some exploring. And so Davpat is going to come to the back of the Deku tree. He's going to check this gold Skulltula. With the 4.0 update, the models are accurate. So whatever the item is, he'll be able to see what it is. And he'll come back if he needs to, if it's an important item. But if it's not, he'll have the knowledge that the Deku tree is fully dead.
Just a vanilla token on that skull, so he won't be coming back.
So just about finished up.
And we've got a bomb bag on child archery.
Ooh, that's very nice to find.
So they've both got explosives early. That's going to be really important, especially in a glitch category like this one.
Yeah, we've be really unfortunate to need explosives and you ran out of bomb chews and you're looking for the adult wallet.
So that's Shadow Temple and Market and Sacred Forest Meadow all the way to the hero. And I didn't catch what 30 Skulls was on that last hint.
30 Skulls is a gold Skulltula token.
Alright. So 3-way the heroes right off the bat outside the Temple of Time.
Yep, guaranteed a total of 4 unique locations for Way of the Hero. 2 barren locations, and a handful of checks such as 30, 40, and 50 Skulltulas. Big Goron item, Frogs minigame in Zora's River. We're guaranteed to find out what those items are blocking.
Deku was a stone. That's unfortunate for Davpat.
Yep, unless it's an all dungeon seed, that is a little bit of a time sink. Spirit, Shadow, Jabu. Didn't quite catch all those medallion locations. Last one was the Shadow Temple. Pretty sure about that one. And it's definitely difficult to catch the packs. These runners are very used to getting the little bit of text they need and then hitting that A button as fast as possible. So as they're kind of doing a standard early adult, whole bunch of checks here available in Kakariko. 6 total, and then another 3 in the graveyard. Davpat, I guess we missed an input there, wasting that bomb chew.
I'm not sure what he's doing with those bomb chews in the grottos.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. I do know there's that one grotto up by Kakariko where there's a gold Skulltula kinda in that location. But we had fire arrows next to Impa's cow, and it looks like that is the Megaton hammer here in the windmill. Hopefully it's not an ice trap. But as they're having a little bit of trouble jumping on this ledge to get the glitchless jump. I don't believe it's in logic, but it is a very accessible trick to do.
Was indeed a real hammer.
Yes, sirree.
And Serenade off of the song won't unlock anything, but it's very convenient to have early on.
Yep, that will, and if he needs to go back child shortly after this, he'll feel less bad, because it's quick, as a child, it's a quick way to get back to the Temple of Time. Well, bombs, hookshot, and the bow. I assume he's going to be sticking around adult for a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna need all medallions to open the bridge.
Yep, that is one of the win conditions. You have to get all 6 medallions. There are a few glitches to get into Ganon's castle early, but one of the win requirements is that you have to get the 6 medallions that are randomly scattered in the seed. Azder here in the graveyard, a little game we like to play during the weekly accessible races over on Zelda Speedruns, is guessing the race time that the runners are going to get. So chat, get your guesses in for Dampy 1 for Azder. Well, takes a first fire there, so I'm gonna guess he's gonna be at about 50 seconds. We got some high guesses in chat. Not a lot of confidence in Azder. I think the record is somewhere in the mid to low 40s. Meanwhile, Dabpat is down here in the lake doing some checks. Azder has already gone through. Azder with a time of 51. Mr. Arlius with the correct guess. Congratulations. You don't win anything. But everyone has another opportunity. So he gets the jump.
So something that's different between these races and the usual accessible races over on Zelda Speedruns is the chest size matches contents option. You might have noticed that the Dampé chest was small there. So that means it's not going to have a major item in it. You might actually see the runners walk by those chests from time to time to save a few seconds here and there.
Yep, I think the only reason he opened that one is because the heart piece after the second race won't spawn unless that first chest is open. Looks like he's doing just about the same pace. So nothing from the Dampé races. Maybe he holds something 7 years prior in the digging game. But interesting, Azder is headed towards the lake.
I'm imagining he'll set Scarecrow's song here, and then he'll get a couple of Scarecrow checks as an adult in the lake.
Yep. The only reason I'm a little surprised is because it's going to be a little while before he can get back into Kakariko up Death Mountain Trail. It would be more of a typical play to do the Dango's Cavern, go up the trail, and then maybe after you've gone as far as the mini wet location, come down here. But I'm no racer. What do I know?
Davpat is headed back to Castletown via the owl you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's nighttime for him, so unless he wants to head over to CAC, he's going to have to wait a little bit by the bridge. Looks like, how do you say that? Callus has learned a mechanic of Ocarina of Time. Hope the Scarecrow didn't troll you too bad as a child.
Looks like we might see Davpat actually peek in the Tektite Grotto here. You can't collect it yet, but we'll be able to see what it is.
Oh, yeah, that's a good use of his time. Much better than just, standing around.
Just a blue rupee at the bottom.
Masters, gotta be careful of this Gwei. Worst enemy in the game.
I've lost the Gwei fight too many times to count.
How far has he knocked you down? All the way in front of the door of the lab, or all the way down to the lake bottom? Ooh, we got a fairy in a bottle from the Boulder of Destiny. Ooh, and the strength upgrade on top of the lab roof. That's a major item of progression.
The Scarecrow gamble paid off.
Yep. So that's a... he can full clear the Forest Temple now. Yep, it is faster to walk backwards, unless it's, I think, less than 3 rolls away distance. I think that's what I once heard Dotso mention. It's really cool. There's a trick you can do with the camera to have the camera be facing the direction you're walking backwards, so you can kind of see where you're going.
Looks like Davpat's gonna pick up his bomb bag here.
Did he jump into Bomb Chew Bowling?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
He might be headed there now.
He's gonna need a lot more money. Looks like he's selling the ferry. Something you don't see too often.
I think he actually just used it.
And he's gonna say, alright, forget that. We'll go see what Melon has instead. Or no, he's looking for bugs. I don't think there's any... Oh, there are bugs in here. That's good to know. I'm guessing he already spoke to Malin and I missed.
I don't think he did, but I might have missed it too.
Meanwhile, azder is headed into the Lost Woods.
Looks like we are going to see Mido skip in a Forest Temple play from azder.
And either Pat found the weird egg somewhere, or he's forgotten about the flags.
Might we see a Bombchu boost to the castle?
Oh, possibly. Looks like it. And I've never seen this trick. Of course, it's not in logic what Pat is attempting here. The seed expects you to be able to beat it without performing any sort of glitches whatsoever.
I think that was a Water Temple foolish choice hint in the Sacred Forest Meadow.
Yeah, that's a good one to find.
Yeah, if that's a stone dungeon, they can completely skip it. Unfortunately, if it's not, they've still got to go looking for the boss key at least.
And finding the Song of Time up here in the Sacred Forest Meadow.
Speaking of the Water Temple.
Yeah, it really only unlocks that one check, but ooh, 50 Skulltula is dead. So maximum we need is 20. azder is gonna get some progress done and head into the Forest Temple here. And speaking of Forest Temple, Pat picks up Minuet from Impa. I guess there is a little workaround in finding that weird egg, as Pat just demonstrated.
I believe that's going to also allow him to check the Saria song, because I think that's unlocked when you talk to Zelda rather than anything actually related to the weird egg.
Well, yeah, you need Zelda's letter, which is actually progression from the weird egg. So, well, I guess you don't need it if you know that Bombchu glitch. Well, logically, it's required.
Yeah.
It's out there somewhere.
Well, there it is at Bombchu Bowling. And he's gonna pass on it. That's interesting.
Hopefully it's not the pocket egg. I'm not sure the Goron item flags have been set to. But I think it's... I think the minimum item you can get is the prescription.
Yeah, that's right. So that would have had to have been the weird egg.
Or a trap. Either way, he's not
course.
picking it up. It's always fun to watch runners pick up an item they already have. And then as the viewer, of course, you know it's a trap. And Daft Pet not wasting any time.
There's a Saria check. She had Bolero.
Yep, that's a nice routing so far from Daft Pet. He's gonna have a pretty efficient adult one.
And the mirror shield in the forest.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we might not see Daft Pat return a child after going into Lon Lon for a while, unless he has to. I guess eventually he'll have to come back and do Jabu Jabu. So to have Pat getting all those Sacred Forest Meadow hints that Azder just got. He's working through the Lost Woods backwards.
Might see a boss key skip in the forest here.
Yep, looks like it. But that's one of the things with these glitched races. You kind of have to judge whether it's worth breaking a whole bunch of logic and getting through the dungeons, because there's still a whole bunch of items you actually need to beat the seed. And they could be anywhere.
Yeah, it's one of those things that makes glitched races of Randomizer not necessarily strictly faster than the accessible ones. You might end up skipping things you need with all the skips you can do under this rule set.
Yep, only to have to backtrack hours later. So the reason there are some songs missing from the tracker is that they don't unlock anything. So Serenade of Water and Prelude of Light, they unlock absolutely 0 checks in the game. They're useful for traveling around, but they don't unlock anything. So that's why they're missing from the tracker, because otherwise we'd have like 50 things on the tracker.
Yeah, that was Rudo's letter in the Lost Woods.
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, Sora's Sapphire from the Forest Temple. So both these runners with some time sinks into Stone Dungeons. Daft Pen outdoing the Ocarina minigame. It's been reduced to just 5 notes from previous randomizers, or yeah, previous versions of the randomizer. Azder now headed into Goron City, gonna give us this first look at this area.
I missed it, but according to chat, we found Din's fire on the target in the woods.
Ooh, thank you, chat. Where would we be without you? And that was a hint for Big Pose. That's nothing but a gold Skulltula token. And it looks like Azder skipped the rock maze. 3 checks available for him there in logic. Get the Song of Storms instead from Sheik in the crate.
Not as useful in this category because they can break into the well without it, but it does unlock 2 grotto checks.
And don't forget about Frogs 1.
That too.
Taking a peek at that item on that wall and headed straight into the Fire Temple. Meanwhile, Dav Pat in Goron City, 7 years prior, gonna check out 2 checks here in the rock maze and perhaps pick himself up the gold Skulltula in the crate. Dav Pat is down here in Kakariko as a child during nighttime, so he had 5 Skulltulas, and I'm guessing he's pretty close to 10. And he's not even collecting the ones here. Looks like he is already at 10, maybe. And we got a small key from the first chest in the Fire Temple. Looks like a second one right behind him.
I'll at least let him explore deeper into it.
And unfortunately, a lot of early Fire Temple tends to be some small keys, maybe even the boss key right away.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to actually be key locked by beating the boss in this temple.
Yep, definitely. It looked like that Pat attempted a super slide, but did not hit it.
We got magic in the Fire Temple.
Ooh, nice pickup. Magic is 100% required. That and the light arrows you will always need to find somewhere out there.
And a bow to use them.
Oh, yes.
Even on the kind of settings you can set on these things, you're going to need those 3 things to beat the game.
Yeah, I mean, the large chests are a little bit nice. You know, you can skip them, but as we've seen, you know, there are goodies in those items, whether it's full heart containers, heart pieces, a giant rupee, bomb refill. Another thing is you could get a, or no, you couldn't get a out of logic bomb bag. But there are plenty of reasons to open those small chests.
Yeah, as long as it's not too out of the way, I don't see any reason to skip them. You could find something pretty useful. So DC, Spirit, Fire, Jabu, and Shadow are our dungeons.
Pat is following in Azder's trails. A little different route, but picked up his Bolero of Fire and looks to be headed into Fire Temple. Or maybe not. Pick up Song of Storms first.
Looks like he's actually leaving.
He's running low on health, although he does have the Goron Tunic. And there are a couple of checks he can get in the air. Look like Azder did manage to get the skip all the way to the shortcut, so that's going to be a nice time save. Meanwhile, Pat is doing a bomb jump to get this heart piece item on the volcano.
I don't know if I missed him checking what it is or not.
I always have the darnest time seeing a lot of these items. So I assume if he's going for it, he saw something worth getting. It looks like Azder forgot to hit that switch there.
It's an important step.
Gotta Gotta be careful about that slug. I always like to, if I have the hammer, smash it on the, on a different platform, and the slug will just turn right over. I don't take chances.
That's strength on the volcano, so that was an important item for him to get.
Oh, very nice.
That's his first one, but we've seen 2 of them.
And there's the boss key for Azder. And a foolish tunic right there.
Yeah, I think there's only one in the game, so that would have to be fake, right?
Yep, that is correct. Daft Pat not getting fooled.
Nice arrows in the grotto. Always fun.
Yes, the fake items can be deceiving.
Yeah, in the vanilla game, there's 6 ice traps, and under these settings, if those ice traps are in a freestanding item position, they'll be disguised as major items. Sometimes based on what you've picked up, you can figure out without picking the item up that it's fake, as in that example. But most of the time, it'll fool you.
There's an instance of Daft Pat skipping one of those small chests there in that grotto. As they're making some good progress in these dungeons, this is going to be his second boss fight.
Very good Volvagia fight from Azder. Using those bombs to damage his second hitbox to speed it up quite a bit.
Textbook speed strats. Not as swag as the bomb chews and Deku nuts. I think that one's also a little faster, but not an easy task. Gets that vanilla fire medallion. And it looks like Daft Pat is instead gonna go into Dodongo's cavern.
Been pretty interesting 50 minutes in now. We haven't seen a ton of overlap in these routes. Different dungeons, different overworld checks.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Azder's gonna pick up his silvers from that volcano. That'll open up spirit to him. I don't think he can access it yet, though, without the song and without being able to cross the bridge.
Yep, might know the hookshot extension to get over there with just the hookshot. Or, do you know if you can bomb jump over the bridge?
Yeah, I think you can do a jump with a bomb chew that gets you enough distance to cross that gap.
So I missed that earlier. It looks like the ice arrows are in a large chest as well. I'm not sure if that's an oversight or not, but one of the reasons, one of the ways you can still get trolled. Nope, we have light arrows in the Ocarina of Time. Although I understand your confusion. Is that a vanilla sun song in the composer's grave?
I think it said ice trap.
Oh, in the chest there. Okay.
Yeah.
After opening up that small chest, rewarded with a full heart container. You never know when those are going to be useful. Meanwhile, DavPat's still sitting on just 3.
And you see him leaving behind that small chest in that side room there, so that might be the difference in health, is that he's not opening those chests while Azder is.
Yeah, I've also noticed DavPat has taken a death or 2 because of it.
Nehru's loving a big chest too.
Tons of useful information to know. I'm still waiting for the Lens of Truth to be able to work on all chests instead of just the one in the minigame. Maybe someday.
Can only dream.
Well, I dream of blue fire arrows. So, Ice Cavern goes by just a tad bit quicker.
That would be nice.
I mean, it's something just about everyone did as a kid, going in Ice Cavern. It's like, oh, can't you melt red ice with ice arrows? Like, what do ice arrows do? Oh, nothing? That's disappointing.
There is the fight with Bongo Bongo, but I think that's more fun than useful.
Yeah, I don't even think there's any sort of time save. So yeah, just for the meme. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's been anything of value in Dodongo's Cavern for DavPat. A bunch of small chests.
We know it's the light medallion, so it's not going to be completely useless to him, but so far nothing else. Looks like they'll both be in Dodongo's cavern for at least a few minutes.
Yeah, but mini high five. Dab Pat finishing up as Azder's entering. Azder does have the Scarecrow song, so we can. I missed what Dab. I know Dab Pat went over there to get at least the one reachable Skulltula on the what is it, the right side of John's Cavern. Unsure if the Scarecrow one was anything important.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, so I'm not sure if he checked it or not.
We'll get a look at that here over on Azder's side. And there's also the Skulltula behind the falling staircase. That's an easy one to forget about.
He did kill that one, and I think it was useless. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Shooting it with the bow.
Yeah, I think it might have been a heart piece or something.
Dab Pat, heart and a half, but luckily King Dodongo, probably the easiest boss in the game. Especially with that Master Sword.
See if this last check is anything, or if Dodongo's cavern is completely empty. Just a heart piece. So he'll get the light medallion, but otherwise empty-handed.
And that light medallion unfortunately doesn't do anything for him either. It's not yet. Picking up more chews in the shop. Interesting purchase considering he has bombs, although I guess he doesn't need to be saving up any money otherwise. Oh, did we see the scale?
I missed that. Where was it at?
Can you confirm the location in that, Jerson? Oh, okay.
So I wonder if Dav must have picked it up too and I missed it. Do we know if Dav picked it up in the cavern as well?
Looks like Dav skipped it according to chat.
Okay. I saw him check it. I didn't get a good look at what it was because he turned around pretty quickly and I assumed it was a bloopy or a heart piece or something. Guess not.
It's not the most useful item. He's already taken a peek at the item in Lake Hylia as a child, which was nothing. But other than that, the gold scale just unlocks the bottom of the lab, and that is easily cheesable.
Yeah, if I miss something, don't be afraid to yell at me because I'm tracking two people and trying to commentate at the same time, so it's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, we would be nowhere without chat. swag strats to grab this hammer in the windmill. Gets it first. So at this point, an hour in, there's not a whole lot of them to do in logic, given their items. I think one of the best plays would be to go back child, check out Zora's River, Zora's Domain, maybe even the bottom of the well.
Yeah, I think with Song of Storms having been found, that well's in logic, and that's a lot of checks, so that might be the way I go if I were them.
I'm just missing Zelda's Lullaby to full clear it, which might be their hesitation.
Yeah, it's interesting. You usually see that early because it unlocks so much, and so it's interesting that we haven't found it yet.
Right. It's possible it's in Lon Lon Ranch. We haven't been there yet. Well, we know it can't be in the ice cavern, and it can't be here in the graveyard.
I don't think we've seen an OOT hint yet, so small chance that this becomes a nightmare scene.
I'm pretty sure the Ocarina of Time holds Epona's song.
Okay. Crisis averted.
For now. Never know when horseback archery is going to hold something like the light arrows. Azder picking up all the hearts. Does not want any hugs from Ganon tonight. Dav Pat is Dampe 1 with a time of 50 seconds. I'm pretty sure Mario lives in the Mushroom Kingdom. As they're checking 10 Skulltulas. Nothing but a heart container, or a recovery heart. Azder making the same bomb she purchased from the Bazaar in Kakariko, as Dappat is finishing up Dampe race number 2.
One of the benefits of having them in logic.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's nice to be able to purchase those cheap. Really confused of what Azder is doing back.
He must be farming money because he's already done the races. Or bombs.
He must not have a bottle. Shucks. Yep. So if he had a bottle, he could go into the open grotto there and just grab a fish.
Looks like we might see him jump into Shadow.
Ooh.
We did see a Way of the Hero hint, so it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea if he's comfortable with the trick. And with his equipment, if he can to get the bomb jump over where he would normally need hover boots, can full clear Shadow Temple. Or no, wait, no, he can't. He needs Zelda's Lullaby still. But failed attempt number 1. And Staff Pad is here in Zora's River. Or maybe gonna warp somewhere else. As chat points out, it's kind of a gamble with, you know, how long you want to spend on a trick. You know, if you're really comfortable with it, definitely, you know, it's gonna save some time. But there's always the chance that it's gonna take you more time to get it set up correctly than it's gonna save you on time. It looks like Azder's up here seam walking on attempt number 2. Walk up here, get ISG, carefully walk the seam, and up here, side jump, so the door to the Shadow Temple is not loaded. And hop, skip, and a jump into the Shadow Temple.
See if we can figure out what that way of the hero hint was. Hopefully you can find it without needing Lullaby to use the boat.
Yep, and if he can't find anything good, hopefully he at least finds Pharaoh's Wind so he can set up a warp point. That's an item I always love to see early. And the only reason we might need hover boots during these races is if a racer needs to get into Spirit Temple without the silver gauntlets. But we won't be having that problem tonight. Bringer of Flowers, I have no idea if there's a prize pool or not, or anything of the sort. Best bet would be to jump into the Discord channel and ask there.
Davpat should be picking up his silver gauntlets here on top of the lab.
Master using a cool ISG trick to stay hovering above the gap on his failed attempt there, and unfortunately fails that bomb. The bomb flip, mega flip. That's what it's called. Gets it on attempt number 2. Way to go. And Staff Pat is headed into the Fire Temple. Gonna work on his medallion count. Daft Pat, happy to see that magic. So unfortunately, Shadow Temple is quite a long temple. But luckily, there's a whole bunch of checks. Both our runners plugging along in these dungeons.
Yeah, Shadow's barren so far. Haven't seen our way of the hero yet.
Yeah, we know there's something in here that the seed expects you to have by the end. I think, I forget who mentioned it in chat, but I think someone threw out the guess that the boomerang's got to be in here.
Yeah, I was just looking at the item list. Sorry. So I was looking at the item list at light arrows and boomerang. Like, hovers can't be in here because you need hovers logically to get this far. So, we're low on options.
Yeah, unless it's something for the water temple, which they would not like to see.
Yeah, that's the last stone that we haven't collected, so if it's an all-dungeon seed, or if there's something in Water Temple that they need to collect, then it could be the irons.
Well, we know there won't be anything in the Water Temple. We found that Baron hint, but it's always possible that Epona's locking something. Yeah. Or that the seed expects you to get Epona in order to get over to the desert, which these runners may or may not be able to skip. So one of the effects of the randomizer is that you can mod Link's colors and all the kind of sound effects you hear. So go ahead, check out ootrandomizer.com.
That was the Kokiri sword in Shadow. I don't believe that does anything in logic in these settings. I think they turned off the dead hand with sword option in the logic, so yep, I don't think that can be our way to the hero.
Yeah, I think the runners are just wearing the Goron tunic, and they haven't taken advantage of any of the coloring options.
Yeah, I think they both have vanilla tunic colors.
Not dressing to impress tonight. Daft Pat taking a little breather along with Link, catching his breath. So Daft Pat continuing his dig into Fire Temple. There's just 3 checks left in Shadow Temple for Azder after this. Oh no, 4 including this. Ooh.
That could be the method across the bridge to Gerudo.
Yep.
Because water is a stone, so it's not required, we don't think, with Epona's Song of Time.
That will also allow him to get one other Skulltula. The one right before the boat ride. But there could also be something else in here, something on Bongo Bongo or the final checks in the back. But definitely useful for getting over to the Spirit Temple, which we know is required. And logically, they have everything they need for it, too. I guess they could get key locked from the adult side.
I wonder if they'll be finding Vanilla Requiem there in that case. I don't think that long shot would be Way of the Hero if they had Requiem available to them.
Yeah, you might be right.
And I don't remember which medallion Spirit is, so it could be locking a song check that could be Requiem as well.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that the Forest Medallion is in the Spirit Temple, so that's locking 2 songs.
Yeah, so that's pretty likely as well.
Only time will tell. As you're being very patient in that fan room. Much easier having the iron boots available.
Thought we might see something else in that big chest, but it was just a bottle.
Daft Pat entering the Volvagia fight. After this, will be all tied up in the medallion / stone category with Azder. Now I want to say that both these runners are pretty even in terms of items. Azder maybe with a little bit of a lead.
I would probably give him the edge right now just because of the progress he's made in Shadow, which we know is required and has a Way of the Hero item. They're otherwise retracing each other's footsteps a lot right now.
Yes, sirree.
Two solid Volvagia fights today. Davpat will be picking up his fire medallion.
Yep, it looks like azder is headed over to Gerudo Valley. It's gonna take a while to get out to the desert, but he can get there. Yeah, azder definitely has the health advantage for sure. Does Davpat even have 5 hearts yet? Nope, still on 4 hearts. Be curious to see how many he finishes with.
He seems to be skipping small chests and freestanding pieces of heart, so I'm not sure that he'll be increasing that dramatically.
Well, yep, he must be confident in his combat abilities and avoiding damage. But now gonna make up some ground on azder in the Forest Temple. Let's see how much of this he cleared. Not a bad call considering Mido's house had both the bow and the hook shot, and there was a Goron bracelet available pretty early on as well. Where was the mirror shield?
I've been racking my brain and I can't remember. I remember it being found, but I don't remember what check it was.
Yeah. Somewhere azder went that Davpat did. Maybe the rock maze in Goron City? Not 100% sure. Sorry there, Lamb. Anyone has had trouble or continues to have trouble with the Gerudo guards? Yeah, I hope you were taking notes, because that's the strat right there. So azder working on his Beatles checks. Gotta rescue George, John, Paul, and Ringo. Pat being very efficient here in the Forest Temple.
I don't think we saw a whole lot of Spirit the first time through because of the boss key skip. I wonder if he's going to do a more thorough clear of Forest.
And a question in chat, for these flags, they have to rescue all 4 carpenters. The accessible rule set has reduced it down to 1. But with all the glitches these runners have available to them, we're going to make them rescue all 4.
Found the mirror shield. It's in forest.
Ask and ye shall receive. And it looks like DavPat has had enough. Not gonna jump down into the Phantom Ganon.
He knows it's a stone, and I think we might have gotten away the hero hint about it, so that might be why they both dipped in there to get it.
That makes sense. But now DavPat is headed back in the Fire Temple. That's an interesting play. See how far he climbs up.
Look like DavPat died trying to clip into that shortcut room in Fire Temple.
Thanks. Missing those hearts.
It's one of the drawbacks of skipping them. Meanwhile, Azder's got his Gerudo card, so we'll see what he does with it. Can't do archery, so I imagine he's going into GTT.
Nope. Looks like he's headed that way. So a nice thing with these different chest sizes is you can kind of go into the maze here and peek through a bunch of the walls and see, you know, kind of route through here quicker. Oh, and hey, look at this. DavPat is headed over here.
I don't believe he's got his long shot, so he might be doing some kind of glitch to get across.
Don't listen to Speed Gaming Bot. Don't head over to Speed Gaming 3. You can stay right here and watch some Ocarina of Time rando. But if you do go, before you go, make sure to give these racers a like and a follow. Maybe a subscribe if you feel so inclined. But really hope you stay. Hope everyone's here having.
Looks like DavPat's actually going to hover over that gap.
Yeah, I've seen this trick a couple of times. I'm gonna side roll and backflip on just the right frame, pull out the bomb chill. Looks like he is pretty pro at it.
First try. Good job.
Azder taking out those wolfos, making his way through here. Metroid Prime and Twilight Princess. Yikes. That sounds like a night. DavPat is sneaking past these guards. I'm wondering if he's gonna clip into GTG instead of fighting the fortress guards. Gonna check the rooftop first. And yeah, looks like he's gonna clip in here.
He got caught.
Busted.
Haven't actually seen anything of value in GTG yet.
And unfortunately, 9 whole keys are in here. DavPat not gonna attempt a second break-in. He's gonna do it the vanilla way and save the beetle.
Insult to injury.
Yeah, I like how they the devs put the ice traps in big chests.
Yeah. No matter where those things are, they're gonna try to trick you into picking them up.
It's a fun thing in multi-world to purposely purchase a nice trap for your fellow runner.
Big chest. Let's see if this one's actually got something in it. Nope. 2 for 2.
Back to back as well.
That one caught me off guard.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Pretty good. Third one? No such luck. Boomerang, though.
All hail Lord Banana.
It was all worth it.
So what is in Shadow Temple? It must be those light arrows, or no, the.
We did find the long shot there, so that might be our logical access out here.
Yeah, there we go.
Doesn't mean there's not something else.
So I think at this point we just need the light arrows, right?
I think so. At least under these rules. Logically, we'll need some more things, but...
Yeah, I mean, really, we just need a Nocturne. Otherwise, I think everything else has been in logic, more or less.
We'd need hovers for Shadow.
Oh, that's right. Nocturne and hovers.
So at this point, we've seen them kind of converge with azder with a slight lead. We'll see if he maintains it.
Yeah, that is interesting to notice. They were very different early on. Kind of been pointed to the same area here. Jerison using the force, feeling that the hovers are in the well. Is the force strong with Jerison? We may never know. Alright, what do we got in the Wasteland chest? It looks like Dav picked up his Gerudo card and is heading straight into the Wasteland.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Do these swag strats to get over the quicksand without the hover boots or the long shot. Azder just finding his first slingshot here in the Wasteland. See if Dav Pat picks up his Deku seed bag.
Yeah, it was in Deku, and azder hasn't been in Deku yet. Now, that was his first slingshot, Jerson. If it's an upgrade, it'll be a bag.
Yep. Guaranteed the first one's going to be the item, and then the second ones will be progression and ammo kills. Like you see right there.
Vanilla Requiem.
Yeah, you called it. Now we cannot get key locked out of the Spirit Temple. Might have to come back here as a child, but guarantee we can full clear this out. And then we'll probably be moving on to Jabu Jabu next. Oh, we still need to find Zelda's lullaby so they can clear out Shadow Temple. Huh.
There are a few checks blocked by Zelda's Lullaby here, too, so it's possible that's going to prevent us from beating it. Although they'll well, I'm not sure if there's a boss key skip here or not, do you know?
I don't know. I thought you could skip every boss key door. But if ZL isn't locked behind the forest medallion, where could it be? I guess it could be in Lon Lon Ranch. We haven't seen that.
Ice Cavern, maybe?
No, it can't be an ice cavern because you need Zelda's Lullaby in order to get into Zora's domain as an adult.
I think they have the entry with hover boots in Logic, don't they?
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. So either ZL or hover boots. Huh. I'm thinking it's gotta be locked behind the Forest Medallion. Either in the Temple of Time or Burning Kakariko.
And that's what a slingshot upgrade looks like, if you're still wondering. Did we lose Azder?
Yep,
There he is.
Paused on my side. Oh, there he is. Yep, here we go.
Lost him for a few seconds.
But Daft Pat, hot on his heels.
The one other advantage Azder has right now is that he's made a lot of progress in Shadow while Daft Pat hasn't entered it yet. So even if they do come close together, he's got a slight advantage there.
Yeah, he also grabbed that boomerang in GTG. It's gonna be a while, I'm guessing, before Daft Pat heads back there.
Could be.
Daft Pat for getting the Song of Time there. I'm not sure if Azder checked this skull or not.
I believe he did. I think it was a key.
Okay. It's an easy one to forget.
Azder's getting bullied by these Beamos a little bit.
Yeah, Beamos are not happy. Definitely worth taking out the bomb and knocking them out. It's all 3 seed bags for Daft Pat. Oh, and yeah, that's right. Azder found the iron boots here in Spirit Temple. Uh-oh. Puts all dungeons in logic. Could there be something behind horseback archery?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that Epona locks at this point.
Yeah, we found that hint for the 10 Big Poe reward. Interesting reset there on Daft Pat's side. plug on. Azder not quite getting the most efficient route in this Anubis room. Manages to clear him out. Still looking for the boss key, unless he knows to skip for it. And now we're seeing Azder skip a few of these small chests here. It's been a pretty nice seed so far. I might be thinking he doesn't have the lead, might be thinking it's close. Yeah, 179ers, you got it, man. September 9th, enjoy the celebration.
It's got layers.
Yeah, I like the GG idea.
I'm happy to be a contrast in usernames here.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, on these settings, only the skulls and dungeons will be randomized. The other ones in the overworld will be tokens. You have the option to either do all Skulltulas dungeons only or none of them.
Additionally, there is a new flag for the 4.0, in which you need 100 Skulltula tokens in order to unlock the Rainbow Bridge. Not too many people have tried that one out.
I think that combined with token sanity might be the most sadistic thing possible.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty terrible. The only thing that would make it worse would be like one-hit KO and ice trap sanity. So all the heart pieces and bombs and arrows get replaced by ice trap.
Ice trap onslaught. Somebody will put themselves through that, but I will not be that somebody.
Yeah, that's an incentive seed. Like 1,000 subs is incentive seed.
For 1,000 subs, I might do it. I might have to start streaming though.
Yep. Azder has finished up all the checks he can make so far, minus the 2 ones in the early side of Child Spirit. And does look like he did not find the boss key, but does know a skip to get past the door. Do some bomb chew flipping. Azder using a little bit of pause buffering, make sure he grabs the right frame before flipping. This was one I was mentioning earlier. It's taken Azder a few minutes to get this. Meanwhile, that gives DavPat a few minutes to catch up.
I imagine the boss key is behind Zelda's Lullaby at this point, so
Yeah, I imagine,
it's probably
yeah.
worth grinding this out. But if DavPat can do it a little bit cleaner, that might be what catches him up.
Unfortunately, running out of magic, he had the nice idea of using fire arrows to take this room out a little quicker, but did not have the magic for it. Oh, azder running out of explosives too. I wonder if he saved before he tried this to save scum his explosives.
I don't remember him doing so, but it's possible he did, and I didn't notice.
And the saving takes so little time in this game.
Looks like he's gonna warp away.
Yeah, looks like he did not have that forethought. Might be choosing to... Oh no, he can't get them from the carpet salesman. He doesn't have the adult wallet. He's gonna save warp back to the Temple of Time. Let's see where he's headed. Maybe back to Child. Yep, and looks like azder is gonna do some time traveling. And while DavPat is taking out this iron knuckle, gotta be careful down to one heart. Has no fear, getting right in his face, takes him out. I guess I should say takes her out, considering there are Gerudos under there. Yeah, azder has not done a whole lot as Child. Hasn't done any of the Child songs, Bomb Chute Bowling. Plenty of stuff for him to tackle.
Hasn't even been inside Deku yet.
But it looks like he's making the play for Child Spirit and hoping to pick up the boss key in one of these first two chests. He's looking to progress. He wants that medallion. I imagine if this doesn't turn fruitful, he's going to head to Jabu Jabu. Actually, whether it's fruitful or not, we'll probably head to Jabu Jabu next. Looks like DavPat either died or save warped back to the beginning of the temple for some reason. Alright, Jarzin, have a good night, buddy. Thanks for your help in chat. DavPat tackling a room that's a bit difficult with just the hook shot. But manages to line things up and climb up safely.
Jerson, I'm not a doctor, but after 36 hours, it might be a good idea.
I know eventually, with not enough sleep, you'll start hallucinating. Not from personal experience, but that's what I hear. I have been curious, but I can never manage much more than 30 hours before my head hits a pillow. But Asder's save warp back to Fury Forest. Probably gonna jump into the deck. Not gonna find anything there, but let's see if DavPat knows the boss door skip and if he can get. DavPat is not going for the skip. Where is he going? Yeah, I'm really confused with some of the routing that's going on right now.
It's all geared up for Deku Tree, and now we're back in Spirit. He did buy some bomb chews in there, so maybe he'll attempt the clip again if this doesn't pan out.
I wonder if he had ran out of sticks and was unable to get this check. Because he never did the target in the woods, so he doesn't have Din's Fire. But it does look like the boss key is Zelda's Lullaby blocked. DavPat a few minutes behind Azder, headed to Child Spirit himself, looking for that boss key. So Azder is heading into the woods. He's gonna pick up Din's Fire. Don't think there's anything else in there. Or wait, Ruto's letter was in there.
Yeah, it was in one of the grottos, I believe.
Might have already picked that up as an adult. But this is Din's Fire here on the target. Yep. Headed into Lord Jabu Jabu. Might have been a little faster to go in via Lake Hylia, but this works too. I'm wondering if he's forgotten he's picked up the scale. But gets the trick here to get into Zora's Rift. Oh, he didn't pick up the scale, he just saw it.
Oh, I thought he picked it up when we were talking about it earlier, so I marked it.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll go ahead and take care of that.
Wow, I'm just realizing it's 2 hours in, and I don't think either runner has been down here in Zora's Rift.
I think you're right.
Remember, DavPat started heading in here, but then turned around. Azder, it looks like, is setting up for a flip here. I'm not gonna choose to go down and grab a Cuckoo. Interestingly, DavPat is back in Bombachu Bowling, and he's gonna pick up his weird egg. Interesting play. I don't know if he needs it for some reason, but...
Might be looking for Lullaby, and that's 3 songs without glitches. 2 of them are available, as we saw, with glitches, but it could be the 3rd one.
Wasn't it DavPat who did the bomb flip? Who was that azder?
It might have been DavPat.
Yeah, I thought DavPat already got the letter and all that jazz.
Well, he bomb flipped. He did a bomb shoe boost into Zelda and got the song check, and then he visited Saria at that point. But I'm not sure what that does to the weird egg when you don't have it.
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of like yeah, I guess there's no really an analogy with another kind of item. Let's see what happens if he gets it this. He messed up on his first attempt. Meanwhile, Azder in here in domain doesn't look like he picked up the letter, going for a clip past King Zora. Setting off the Gossip Stone, launching into outer space. Only other reason why DavPat might be doing this is if this is the Pocket Cuckoo. And,
I don't think it can be.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see the text box. It's too quick.
It was a weird egg.
Oh, was it? Okay. So let's see if this does anything. So it's possible that you can get the song, and even though the animation for holding up Zelda's letter appears, that it doesn't actually give it to you without the weird egg. But I am not 100% certain.
I'll have to try to see the next time he opens up his inventory what that spot looks like right now.
Meanwhile, Azder is here in Lord Jabu Jabu. Looks like he is going for the flip straight to Baronade.
Yeah, crazy Jesse. The D-pad is since 4.0, they've got the option to quick equip both boots and the ocarina to D-pad button, so you don't have to go into the pause menu to equip your ocarina or switch your boots. It's just a quality of life improvement.
Yeah, very useful. A lot of times you're going to the sub map in vanilla just to pull out the ocarina for 30 seconds to play a song. You have it permanently on your down D-pad. It's really funny though if you manage to see some racers still equip it just out of muscle memory. We have not seen any fairy fountains this seed because neither runner has picked up Zelda's Lullaby yet. All the songs are in random locations. That pack does not have the letter. Something I'd like to see in 5.0 would be some child items on the D-pad. I've suggested a skull mask or any of the masks. That would help in switching off your child shield in the bottom of the well and child spirit. Because if anyone doesn't know, if you equip the skull mask, the fire keys or any keys will not attack you. And then another useful child item would be the beans. It's another item similar to the ocarina where you kind of just pull it out for 10 seconds and then you're done.
Crazy Jesse, this is no item wrong warp. I'm not sure if they... I think they can wrong warp, but it's not allowed in this rule set.
Yeah, it would disqualify you. Oh man. Azder getting fooled by that silver scale from Baron. So that's 4 medallions down for Azder, and he's cleared out most of the Shadow Temple already, and all of the Spirit Temple minus the boss key.
It's really just a race for a lullaby at this point. That's what's blocking us in both temples.
Yes, sir. And Azder headed back to the desert. I wonder if he's checking the arch item. Nope, headed into the temple.
Crazy Jesse, it should work the same way as in vanilla, so it is possible. But none of the major categories allow it because it pretty much breaks Randomizer at that point.
And I just now finally understood why Dav Pat went back and grabbed that weird. He couldn't check Talon's chicken game right there, or get the song from Malin without first waking up Talon at the castle.
Yeah, I think that was the whole purpose of the weird egg.
Yeah, Talon was still asleep.
There's Zelda's lullaby.
Yeah, there it is. So that is actually pretty big for Dav Pat. Now, he hasn't jumped into Shadow Temple, so I'm curious if he doesn't know that strat. So he might still need Nocturne. But that is a big pickup for Dav Pat. So let's see what Azder chooses to do. We know he needs to go into Bombachu Bowling and get that egg to wake up Talon. Nah, Dav Pat still needs the light arrows. And he needs to go back to GTG to get his boomerang. Nocturne could be in any of the remaining song checks. It could be in the Graveyard, the Ice Cavern, Burning Cack, or the Temple of Time. Azder is heading into the castle. Probably gonna do a flip with the bomb choose. Fortunately, did not grab the weird egg, so we will not be able to wake up Talon.
Kind of in an interesting spot where Azder has accomplished a lot more as far as dungeon progression, but with Zelda's lullaby, it's hard to tell who's in the lead at this point.
Yep, we gotta sit back, relax, and see if Dav Pat can clear out those dungeons that Azder's already made a whole bunch of progress in. And in the meantime, we have to see how long it takes Azder to check Bombachu Bowling and go into Lamon Ranch.
Azder just killing time, because if you enter that crawl space at night, you're going to get immediately caught by the guards, so no choice but to wait till morning.
is an option to turn that off, so you could enter at night. That's what's currently on the accessible flags.
Yeah.
But again, these runners have a whole bunch of cheaty glitches to exploit, so we're not going to give them any mercy. That's also why the Poe count is up to the vanilla 10, because these runners have Poe cloning available to them.
I don't think I've seen that actually required in a race in this tournament yet.
Yep, not yet. Fingers crossed. Oh, and look at that boss key in the first ZL check in Spirit.
Of course.
And that'll unlock another song for Dav Pat. Might be hoping that it's a Nocturne there in the Temple of Time. There's the letter in Minuet for Azder. So given that DavPat still needs a handful of items, I am a little curious that he isn't continuing on for some of these ZL checks.
Unfortunate death to the Beamos on that wall climb room.
Yeah, still getting some flack for not picking up some of those hearts. Still only at 5. I guess Azder isn't too far ahead. He's got 7.
Let's see if Azder checks Bomb 2 bowling finally on his way to Castletown.
Nope, he's headed into the Temple of Time.
It's so painful to watch him walk right by it when you know what it is.
That's payback for all the commentators' curses.
Yep.
Yeah, Azder might know it's an egg. You know, it's easy to miss some of these checks that they're doing. Might not put it together that he needs that in order to check Lon Lon.
I don't remember if he's been inside Bomb 2 bowling to see the prizes or not. I don't think he has.
Oh, but on his... Oh no, so he has the letter, but Talon is still not waking up. It's a really interesting mechanic.
I think I heard somewhere that if you do that trick where you enter Zelda's castle without the weird egg, the cuckoo, you can't actually, like, if you get the weird egg after that, you can't upgrade it to the letter, so it'll lock you out of the mask quest, so that's why it's disabled in these settings.
Oh, that's right, because the masks can't be anything. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense.
So if we had skull mask on, and they could possibly sock off themselves by doing that.
DavPat unfortunately did not melt the face after he'd set it up, so he has to come all the way back up. Push these mirrors back into place. As Azder's headed up Zora's River, maybe headed into Ice Cavern, and DavPat about to take on Twinrova. I'm gonna step away for just a minute. Hope you can survive without me.
I'll do my best to hold the fort down. Looks like that's Ferore's wind in Zora's River. Azder's gonna be picking that up, or attempting to. I didn't see what happened to DavPat. Did he die to the knuckle? That's unfortunate. Gonna have to make his way back up there. Yeah, I guess he decided Ferore's win wasn't worth all the trouble that Octorok was giving him. It doesn't really unlock anything, it's mostly just a convenience. DavPat's headed for round 2 with the knuckle. Looks like Azder's gonna head into Zora's domain.
Alright, I have returned. Did I miss any?
Just a death to an iron knuckle. And I guess a lost fight with an Octorok as well.
Yeah, with 5 hearts, right? The iron knuckle swing takes out exactly 5 hearts?
I think it's 4, but
okay.
That's most of his health at this point. One more hit is going to do him in again.
So that's something to keep in mind. If you see a Spirit Temple as a Medallion Dungeon, you might want to pick up a few extra heart pieces.
Yeah, while we were gone, we found Ferore's win on one of the freestanding heart pieces in Zora's River, and Azder attempted to pick it up as an adult, but an Octorok wasn't going to let that happen.
Oh, yikes.
Looks like he's gonna clip past Zora's King Zora because he doesn't have the letter yet. Head over to Ice Cavern.
There he goes. Gets the clip through the wall.
At this point, I don't know what he's gonna find in there because I think we've found everything we really need, including the song. It's possible it's Nocturne and he doesn't know the hookshot jump, so he might need it to clear Shadow.
Well, he just needs Zelda's Lullaby to clear Shadow. could find the light arrows in here. You never know.
Yeah, we still don't know where those are. Of course, Ganondorf will give us a hint if we get to that point and we still haven't found them.
Yeah, I'm curious though to see what song Davpat gets here after defeating Twinrova. I imagine that's where he'll head first.
And we already know Water Temple's barren, so I don't think that's possible, Jerson.
Yep, barren Water Temple, thankfully. One of the worst places it could be would be in some Gold Gauntlet blocked, or the Redead Grave, maybe.
Yeah, I think Gold Gauntlets is probably the worst case scenario. I did see that on an accessible race not too long ago.
Actually, the worst place would be archery. Clear out the Water Temple just for the song.
I guess that's true. There's a trade-off of you got to do a lot to unlock it, but at least you know what you have to do. Whereas Gold Gauntlets could be anywhere.
True that. Davpat has taken Twinrova down, first to get his mid-green cookie. Another piece of hearts he's skipping. Not celebrating Pizza Friday.
We've got hovers in the ice cavern on a Skulltula.
Ooh, so Ice Cavern is the way of the hero. He's cleared out all of Shadow Temple where he would need those. It's useful information nonetheless. And Sun Song here in the Temple of Time. Yikes.
Just the one check for that.
Interest. Okay. Wasn't sure what Azder was doing playing Requiem there.
It looks like he's conflicted about what to do.
I mean, given that he needs ZL, I don't know why he wouldn't go all the way into the White Wolf.
You gotta grab the song at that point.
Yeah, you've already been here and you skipped out on Pharaoh's Wind. But maybe now that he's got more... No, I was going to say now that he has more explosive, maybe he's going to try another shot at that boss door skip. Looks like he is warping back to the Temple of Time. Maybe going to go back child. Nope, he is sticking it adult. Hover boots were in the ice cavern on a Skulltula.
He must be heading to Shadow at this point.
Is there a way to skip the boat?
I think you can clip from the Dead Hand room into the loading zone for the boss.
Considering we don't know where the light arrows are, no one is in go mode yet. Looks like Pat is certainly headed into the Shadow Temple.
Oh, I think this is his first entry because that's where the long shot is, and he doesn't have it yet. So I don't think he knows he's ZL locked yet.
Yeah, you're correct.
Well, he's got ZL, so I guess he's not.
Yeah, he's gonna full clear this. Everything minus Nocturne and Logic, and the hoverboards. But we've seen him do a mega flip before, so. Looks maybe like Azder is panicking a little bit as to what to do next.
He's really just bottlenecked by that weird egg on Bomb Chew Bowling at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if perhaps he's already, checked that off his list, Bomb Chew Bowling or something.
You can see him scrolling through the map as if he's trying to remember something he forgot.
Yep, I never run a seed without a map tracker that I can check off X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, he seems pretty stumped at this point. So I'm wondering if he doesn't realize he hasn't checked Bomb Chew Bowling yet.
Yeah, that is one of the issues with breaking logic left and right. A few weeks ago, after a race from Runner Guy, that's one of the things he mentioned is that it doesn't like to break logic too much, because that can send you off in strange directions that just end up a wild goose chase. DavPat plugging along here in the Shadow Temple. First two checks down. Azder headed back into the castle. Checking out where the sun's at.
Here he goes.
Something I've seen some runners confuse is that the chess minigame is only open at night, but Bomb Chew Bowling is open at night and day. And sees that egg, he's going for the prize. So I assume Azder will be headed into Lon Lon Wrench after this. Pick up ZL and head immediately for the Shadow Temple or the Spirit Temple. He's going to be headed into Ganon shortly.
Yeah, he's basically in no mode once he picks that egg up. Yeah, Deca, they started out pretty differently. Here over the last hour or so, they've sort of converged a little bit and retraced each other's footsteps a bit, but they did take wildly different opening routes, so they both got items the other doesn't.
Yeah, I think DavPat's strategy is to do a lot of the child checks. And when they converged over at GTG, he opted not to head in there and missed out on the boomerang. Whereas Azder kind of did a whole lot of, as an adult, breaking logic left and right. He cleared out almost all of Shadow Temple really early on. Picked up the boomerang in GTG. He's kind of been stuck behind ZL for a little bit here. Azder also managed to take down Jabu Jabu. So he's that dungeon ahead of Daft Pat as well. But again, those light arrows could be anywhere, so Dav Pat is certainly not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. As they're taking a little bit of frustration out on this fence. Maybe his skull as well.
He's got very loud ways of passing time of day. He's basically just got to wait for night and then day again before that egg's gonna hatch, so he doesn't really have a choice but to wait.
We're gonna be here for a while. Now, what he could do, he could really quickly save warp into Kokiri Forest and beat Goma, which would set it to midday. But it doesn't look like that would be beneficial at this point in the cycle.
It's kind of shocking that he looked so stuck without having entered Deku Tree. You'd think he had to have done that at some point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't remember which check exactly was the long shot in here, but I think it's coming up soon for Dav Pat.
Yeah, I believe it was the Skulltula in the Skull Pot room. And Azder is not throwing the race, he's just passing some time of day. Gotta wake up this lazy, good-for-nothing father. He's left his child all alone. I guess not all alone. She's got her creepy uncle to maybe look after her a little bit, feed her some dinner. Talon definitely doesn't get my vote for Father of the Year.
You think with all this racket going on right next to him, he would have woken up by now. So I'm going to be very shocked if he doesn't beeline to Lon Lon right now.
Yeah, I think he knows where to go.
He trolled me a bit going toward the Temple of Time.
Yeah, I almost held my breath there too. Yep. Picking up the Kokiri sword here in the Shadow Temple. Not logically needed for anything.
I've got that marked on the tracker. I don't know why it's not showing up.
There might just be a little delay there. But Kokiri sword not in logic for anything. Dead hand is not required any longer. And as well, with 4.0, you no longer need the sword to do child fishing. We saw that pretty early on. There's the long shot for Death Pat, getting his way the hero. hopefully putting together that's just required for the GTG access. But azder with ZL now in go mode minus the light arrows. He can clear out his medallions, load the rainbow bridge. Azder taking some aggression out on Malin. Poor little girl's gonna get a face full of bombs. It's not her fault, Azder. She locked up the ranch because her father was nowhere to be found.
So Davpat will get his 5th medallion here. He can full clear Shadow, but he hasn't found the Boomerang in GTG yet, and that's going to keep him from collecting his 6. That might be what holds him back from catching up.
Yeah, there's really no reason to have jumped into the Gerudo training ground without the long shot or opponent's song. Something to get yourself over there. But as we know, that was not the play to make.
So we still haven't seen the back of Shadow yet, and we do have that Way of the Hero, so it's possible we find something back there. Maybe light arrows in the back of the Shadow Temple.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing it could be if there's another Way of the Hero hint here.
I'm not sure if we've seen all 4 or just the 3 at this point.
Yeah, I was not taking good enough notes regarding the hints.
Azder's gonna pick up his boss key, as we know. See if he rushes the boss or if he full clears it. Looks like he's gonna go right for Twin Rova.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just needs to clear out Twin Rova, Bongo Bongo, and you know, rush his hint for the light arrow. Davpat is gonna give us a look here. There's a big chip.
Yeah, have we found all of those now?
So there's one hiding behind that Goron tunic in Crater. There's 2, I think, in what, Shadow Temple? Or Spirit Temple, I mean? And that was the 4th one there for Davpat.
GTG, I think, right?
Oh, that's right, it was GTG. So there's those 2 in GTG, 1 here in Shadow, Goron tunic. And was there something else?
I feel like there was another one-off chest that was an ice trap, but I don't remember where it was.
Yeah, there was that silver scale from Barony. That was number 5. Might still be one. It'd be great if it was the validation chest in Ganon's tower.
That would be great.
Big chest. Not just bomb shoes. So one final check here in the Shadow Temple on Bongo Bongo. Nice twin rover fight for azder.
5 medallions for him.
The one cycle on the second form is not the easiest thing to do, especially without the big Goron sword. I think the key is to watch for Twin Rover to place her hands back down on the floor, get the most efficient timing. So with as much as the Shadow Temple as Azder is cleared out, I want to say he's gonna potentially sub 3 this if the light arrows are, in a nice place like Ganon's tower or I don't know, somewhere easily accessible.
Yeah. Should know shortly.
And without Nocturne, has to take the long way. I'm curious to time this out to see what's faster, going from the crater or going from the Temple of Time.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
I guess it helps having long shot here in Goron City. My guess is there wouldn't be too much of a time save. Every little second counts. I think for Season 1 of the accessible tournament, one of the races came down to like 14 or 15 seconds.
Do we know what DavPad is looking for? I thought he was ready to fight the boss.
Yeah, he got all the way down there. Unless he missed one of these checks here. Or he's just gonna open up the shortcut. Maybe that's what he forgot to do. No?
Might be missing a key?
Oh yeah, he does have 0 keys. He must... Unless, maybe it was on a Skulltula and he's like, oh, I don't need that.
It's odd because I think you can do a clip to skip 1 key in this temple, but otherwise they're all required.
Yeah, you can, in that final Gibdo's room, right, if you go, if you clip through the wall via the shortcut, you don't have to spend your key on that door. But I think DavPat went, the vanilla route, so he spent that key. So it must be here in the like room.
Skull is still there. Just arrows. Do we know if he checked the skull in the back of that last maze room?
The skull.
There's like
Oh,
the three skull pot room.
Pot. Yeah, I don't think we saw him go in there. Yeah. See,
Wonder
this
if that's
is
what
why.
he's missing.
Yeah, this is why I run with a checklist and a map tracker. Occasionally, I'll mistakenly like click something and forget that I didn't check it. Yeah, I hope maybe he runs a quick Google search of Shadow Temple Skulls. Meanwhile, Azder is doing some scene walking for the second time up here in the graveyard. Although, oh, okay, so no Nocturne, so he still needs to scene walk, but doesn't necessarily have to unlock the door. But it will save him a handful of seconds. And yeah, Azder has the small key he needs. He's gonna take the shortcut, ride the boat, do the final checks, hoping it's light arrows. And yeah, should be off again in sub 3. So I would have thought that Azder would have pushed the block when he was in here the first time. But no worries, gets that clip pretty easily. And Davpat unfortunately going back into this room. But he is headed in the right direction here. Also did not push the block his first trip through here, so he's gonna have to go through this gate as well. As they're taking the pacifist route on the boat, stand on the back of it, and the Stalfos will just walk right off.
Equipping ice arrows on the way to Bongo. Interesting.
Going for the memes. So if you appreciate ice arrow strats for Bongo Bongo, make sure you give Azder a follow. And if you like double dipping and running around a dungeon in circles, make sure you give Davpat a follow.
Something for everyone. And if you haven't seen the ice arrow strat on Bongo Bongo yet, prepare to be entertained.
Yeah, but one thing that was extra programmed into the ice arrow animation. And Davpat again on low heart strats. It was the single skull pot. Azder with a very clean bongo bongo kill. I didn't even see him use those ice arrows.
Yeah, he froze him a couple of times.
Daft Pet all the way in the beginning. Did he die? He must have. Really clean with those mega flips, though.
So 6 medallions. We're ready to see Ganondorf's hint shortly. We'll see how trolly this is going to be.
Yeah, we got our cookies. Taste the rainbow.
If you have predictions on where these things are, now's the time to guess.
Yes, just a few minutes. Ganondorf will James Bond villain us our light arrow. We'll be curious to see if Azder checks a few of the trials in here.
Good call. So we won't be able to check light trial, which is very check heavy because we don't have gold gauntlets yet, but we can check everything else in here.
Nothing in the ice trial there. Luckily, most of the trial checks are pretty quick.
Yeah, it shouldn't take but a couple of minutes to clear the ones that he can check.
Could see him clip past the gold gauntlet block in the light trial.
Yeah, I have seen that done in one of these races. The racer, I don't remember who it was, but they struggled quite a bit with that strat and finally gave up on it. But it is possible.
Yeah, worth learning if you're going to be racing these settings. Not gonna check spirit trial or light, or is that fire trial? It's light. Meanwhile, Daft Pet is gonna go fight King Bongo Bongo. Does not have the ice arrows equipped.
Very unfortunate. Is the boss door locked on these settings, do you know?
Oh, yes, it is. That's why he's checking the tower. He needs to find the boss key still.
And that could be a gold gauntlet lock unless he knows how to clip past that pillar.
Yeah.
And I imagine if he doesn't know, that's a great reason to learn. I think I'd rather look up a YouTube video on that strat than go hunting around for gold gauntlets for Lord knows how long.
Oy vey. Does give Dav Pat a chance to make this a little bit of a tighter race, though. Still needs to go into GTG, unfortunately. Grab that boomerang.
We'll see if that's the next thing he does or not.
Oh, and it looks like azder is unloading the light trial block here by coming in and out of this hidden wall. At least that's what I'm guessing he's doing. It's similar. It looks like it's a similar strat to unloading the red ice from King Zor. Here we go. At 3 hours in, it looks like DavPat is checking 20 Skulltulas. If this is light arrows, it would be amazing.
The heart was 10. I'm not sure if he has 20 or not.
Yeah, wow. 3 hours in and he's just checking 10 Skulltulas. That's a risky strategy there.
I haven't seen a skull count from him recently, so I'm not sure if he's hit 20 or not.
Yeah,
I imagine he would have checked it if he had.
Yeah. I mean, but I imagine at 3 hours in, he's got to be close. Although he has been skipping a bunch of stuff.
I'd imagine he's at least in the high teens. So it couldn't be that much trouble to get to 20, I doubt.
Yeah, now looking on azder's side, it looks like maybe he's looking up a quick video strat, maybe.
This is what I saw in the race I mentioned before.
Yeah.
You saw the racer struggle with it quite a bit, and then he just paused and tried to look up a strat and finally gave up on it.
Oh, you know what DavPat's doing? He's gonna get his horse for free. I completely forgot that this was an option. He can just flip over the fence to claim his horse.
I imagine that means that he's going to Gerudo Valley, and he just wants the horse to be able to full clear it.
Yep, and hopefully that'll get him his boomerang, and the race will be on. It'll be absolutely amazing if he finds light arrows on horseback archer. That'll make this a really, really close race. Especially considering that it looks like azder is not too confident with the skip. Wow, that makes OOT blocking Epona much nicer than any other song block, other than maybe like Serenade or Prelude.
Yeah, it really,
it's definitely something.
Really never means all dungeons and glitch categories.
Yeah, any way around it is it's going to be the way to do it. azder setting this up, looking for just the right pixel. It looks like.
We're 3 hours in, and this race is very much up in the air.
Yep, that's why it's so exciting. Never count a racer out. Looks like azder's had, a decent lead for quite a while, but then one item is all it takes to equalize things out. azder has gathered his information. He's going for the explosions. Meanwhile, DavPat is headed to the archery game first. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm hoping we see light arrows here on DavPat's screen. Going for the pot strats. Tried and true.
First one. It was gold. My heart skipped one beat.
You'll never get that beat back.
Uh-oh, 1500 looks like it's in jeopardy. Almost clutched it out.
Yeah, just 70 shy. And no wallets. Has to be a little careful on his money.
A lot cleaner on the second try.
Azder still trying to figure out this this trick here. Definitely has a video pulled up.
Two gold items and no light arrows. It's like they knew.
So, opponent not required this seed. Looks like, yeah, 14 Skulltulas for Daft Pat, 3 hours.
He'll be finding his boomerang shortly, and hopefully that'll send him to Jabu.
Almost certainly. That's his last item minus light arrows.
And if he skips most of Jabu, like, we could be tied here pretty quickly.
Yep. That would be a good place for light arrows. Jabu Jabu. And I think Daft Pat is headed in the right direction. I think the boomerang was on the right side of the maze. Azder pause buffering, looking for the right frame. Daft Pat playing his Song of Time. Ooh, and it looks like Azder did clip through the block.
And there's the boss key.
Nice.
And almost simultaneously, we have the boomerang on the other side. To answer a chat question, it's an all medallions run, so they're required to get the 6 medallions. They don't have to do the stone dungeons.
Oh, man. That second big chest in the light arrow, or light trial, got me excited. And good on Azder for grabbing that key. So boomerang in hand for Daft Pat. We want to see Ganondorf tell us that the light arrows are in Jabu Jabu.
That would be very interesting. Daft Pat, I think he's got everything he needs besides the light arrows, so I imagine he's just going to rush the hint. So I don't think he'll clear full clear Jabu, but he could. No, Levi, he just did a damage boost to skip most of the dungeon and go straight to the boss.
couple other trolley places the light arrows could be would be like blocked by Saria's song. I don't know where that is. So still plenty of time to get your guesses in. Could be here in the validation chest. Nope, it cannot. Alright. Azder has to be careful with these iron knuckles. Ooh.
They're on a roll today.
That's commentator's curse, right? Actually, a little salt for the wound, considering he was going in and out of that Deku scrub room with all those fairies in there, and got plenty of empty bottles.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he also has a red potion, so could have taken a sip of that real quick.
He's still only one hit from dying again, so he's got to be careful in the refight. Does survive the second encounter. Davpat's headed to Jabu to get his last medallion. Last call on predictions on the light arrow location. What do you have for us? Kokiri Forest. That's got to be the grotto.
Yep.
So we need Song of Storms. We've got it, so that's not going to be a problem. So this will be relatively easy. We got that song very early. That was the windmill song, I thought. No.
No, the Song of Storms was in the crater. But yeah,
yeah, Bolero check.
Immediately.
But we had Hookshot very early, so.
Yep, Hookshot was in Mido's house. So we are looking at like we're gonna be finished here within the next I want to say 15 minutes, probably less though.
I don't think Davpat will be terribly far behind, but it's going to take a mistake from azder to allow him to win this one, I think.
Unfortunately, Azder did not have Furor's Wind to set there, so he's going to lose a little bit of time.
You can thank an Octorok for that. We are in go mode.
Yep, check your timekeeping devices. We have reached go mode. Daft Pat entering Baronade as Azder is just about finishing up the game.
Yeah, this is gonna end up being the closest race I've seen in this tournament. I think if Daft Pat ends up finishing the seed out, he's only gonna be a couple of minutes behind.
I mean, we also don't know his confidence level in the light trial skip. You know, he has to either do that or find the gold gauntlet. So.
Daft Pat picking up his last medallion as Azder is climbing up to Ganondorf.
So Daft Pat can taste the rainbow, open up the rainbow bridge, and hunt down the boss key.
We never did find Prelude, so he's going to take the owl to Castletown.
Azder is not going for the bottle strats, sticking with the Master Sword.
I'm not 100% sure he ever found a bottle.
Yeah, might not have.
I know he didn't find the letter. There was a couple others that we saw. I'm not sure that if I saw him pick up a bottle, or if he did, I missed it because I would have tracked it.
Yeah, nice one cycle though on Ganondorf.
Yeah, really good fight. So he should be done within a couple of minutes here.
Making sure to store that jump slash.
Daft Pat's picking up some bomb chews on the way to going to Doll, so he might have the idea that he might need to do that strat to get the boss key.
Yep. It's definitely a good call. Here's Ganon. Players almost in sync, picking up the Master Sword, just in a slightly different location.
Very clean boss fight from Azder to finish things off.
Yeah, textbook fight. final strike as the Rainbow Bridge is opening on the other side. Very close race.
And that's going to be it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, DavPat skipping out on GTG cost them a whole bunch of time. And then all of the running around the Shadow Temple also cut into the time. But both runners, really different routings. But both played extremely well. And yeah, get your GGs out for Azder. He is the winner of this race. Let's see if he will be joining us for a post-race interview. As DavPat straight for the light trial, not even hesitating, going for the biggest amount of checks possible. Also, might be looking at a video or some notes on how to do this. Definitely taking a little less time than Azder did. DavPat may be giving up, or maybe just doing a different setup. Unfortunately, avoids out. With that, we have been joined in chat by our winner.
Hey, what's up?
Congratulations.
That was a really fun seed.
Yeah, what do you think? Take us through your routing and thinking process.
I felt really good about most of how the game went, but a few things tripped me up. I've only done one of these seeds before, so there's some things I wasn't expecting. But anyways, I felt really good about, like I went to Stone Forest, I got the Mirror Shield, and I decided to clear it fairly early before heading up even like the available Medallion Fire in DC for a couple of reasons. One was I didn't have Minuet to get back to that area quickly, and the other was that I had a Sacred Forest Meadow Way of the Hero hint, so that could have been Song of Time. So I figured maybe that means something that I need is behind Song of Time and Forest. So I decided I was going to check like the first half of it, but not go too far. Found the Mirror Shield, and it was like, okay, felt good about that. Hammer was like free. Boomerang and GDG I felt good about. And that was like, I was ready. I called myself in go mode at that point. Only missing light arrows really. But the big thing that chirped me up, the big thing that ruined me was the Zelda Lullaby location, and I thought I was going to lose because of that.
Yeah, GTG and Gerudo Fortress is kind of where you guys linked up. The early route, both of you all had a very different route. And we are actually have been joined by DavPat.
Yo, man.
who
What up?
unfortunately forfeited, but it was still an entertaining race.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, Gerudo Fortress is kind of where you guys synced up. But Azder, you jumped into GTG and found that boomerang, whereas Davpat kind of skipped it, and that was his final go mode item minus light arrows. But how about that weird egg tripping both you guys up?
I'm curious about where was the light arrow? That's because that's the last thing I need. Like.
It was in the Kokiri Forest Storms Grotto.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I played really bad, to be honest. Like, lost something this game. I don't know if you made some mistake, but I made some pretty good mistake. I forgot the skull and shadow. It took me like I think 20 minutes to be fine. But yeah,
that was a big time sink for you. That shadow temple.
And like, yeah, I skipped the boomerang, but since like right after like shadow, I just went there. Was not that like a big deal because I was gambling on archery. I knew I was behind because I made so many mistakes. I died like one time to Twin Nova, and yeah, but that was still like something, I guess.
Yeah, we were hoping that the light arrows were going to be on horseback archery because Davpat, you made the big brain play and just bomb flipped over the Lon wall to get Epona and clear that out. And that was almost at the same time that Azder was getting his hint.
I forgot you could do that.
Hey,
we did too until he was headed.
Don't give my strats.
I mean, I should know this. I watched races, but like, I completely forgot about stealing Epona.
The reason why I thought about that is because last race I had armor on archery, which like we didn't have Epona at all, so I could have done that like anytime, but like I just totally forget. But yeah, I was really gambling on this because I was like, it must be almost done. I made so many mistakes, like just see like boomerangs can be either something really complicated to do, or something that you just forget, like Kukos, or I don't know, like Deep Fire or something just like that. So I was gambling on that, and then like I was like, oh, first jet boomerang, so maybe I still got a chance, but then like enter Ganon's Tower, and then you got done. So yeah, good game on this. Also, it was a slow start for me. Like I did a lot of like child check and didn't really pay off. Like I did, I think you did the same thing as me. You probably went to ZL without the egg or something.
I didn't actually go to ZL until like 2 hours in, because Adult just ended up being so rich for me. Like I found Hammer, Mirror Shield, I had Goron Tunic to clear fire.
Yeah.
I had a lot going for me. Like Hammer and Mirror Shield, those are huge to get in glitched because you can't skip those if they're required.
Yeah.
And so then he was just like, well, okay, all I need is the boomerang, and then like most likely all I need is the boomerang. So I was thinking, okay, well I need hover boots or Zelda's Lullaby for Shadow, and I was I went to Spirit after GDG, right? Because I kind of had to take that trip.
Yeah.
And it was Requiem there, vanilla Requiem, which was good, but also like I was going through the temple, and I was just like, okay, I hope the boss key is available. I haven't done the boss key skip in years. It's been like 7 years since I've done it. So I'm like, I hope I don't have to do it. I haven't learned the ground clip thing yet. So I tried doing like a really old style kind of boss key skip, and I failed it a bunch. And then I was like, I felt really behind after that. But I figured, okay, well I have to find either hover boots or ZL anyways for Shadow Temple, because I don't know how to both skip without hover boots.
Shadow was weird hero, so like no way you're gonna skip that. Like if you can, and you're gonna check in case light arrow was there or something.
Yeah. I think it was Longshot that was way of the hero, but like I went to Shadow. I didn't go there straight away because I was hoping to find hover boots first, but I did end up going there with the intention to double dip, because double dipping Shadow is really not bad in glitched.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only you could have picked up that Pharaoh's Wind in the river.
Oh, that Octorok made me so mad.
I skipped river and the ice cavern. I can't
Oh.
gamble. I gamble super on the sea. Like I was feeling confident when like I entered spirit. I was like, okay, this is good. I can do spirit. And then I did every check in spirit. I was like, okay, nice. And then like, oh, I need CL. But I knew it was the egg, the eggs. I was like, if it's not on the egg, it's probably on Ice Cavern for sure. But it's just going back a shot after this and getting the egg, waiting for it for that. It was super long.
So it was when I was about 2 hours in, having thought I was in Go mode after Boomerang, I was skipping a lot of checks. So when I was down to only 2 songs left that I could get, Epona, like it was down to either Zelda was on Epona's or it was on in Ice Cavern. And so I'm like, okay, well, I hope it's an Ice Cavern, because if it's not, I'm kind of screwed, and I have to find the weird egg, and I've left a bunch of holes everywhere in the game.
Yeah.
So I go to Ice Cavern. I bomb hover past the waterfall, because I'm like, okay, well, I assume hover boots are available, because you need hover boots logically to get long shot from Shadow.
There's one thing you have to remember, dude. Like, ZL cannot be in Ice Cavern.
I think it can. I think it can in this logic. I think this logic enables the trick to use hover boots.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Boost. Yeah.
So that was my plan. I was like, okay, it's 50-50 that ZL is an Ice Cavern. So I go to Ice Cavern and I'm just like, well, I guess I might as well clear it for items. In case light arrows are here. And then I find the hover boots on a Skulltula. They were on a Skulltula in Ice Cavern. And I saw them and I was just like, wait, what? Oh no. That means ZL can't be here.
Yep.
Yeah, the letter was in the Lost Woods in one of those grottos that you skip.
Yeah, that really wasn't too bad of a light arrow location. But I felt like I had routed kind of... I had routed so well, so luckily, in terms of getting to Hammer and Mirror Shield and Boomerang really fast, that I had a feeling that Dave probably didn't get those items as quickly, so he probably ended up doing more checks like as child, or maybe he did that check before me.
I couldn't say if I probably like did slower, but I feel like I still didn't really search that much for it. It just really I played really bad. Like I was like kind of ashamed of myself, to be honest. I died a lot. I never died that much in the randomizer. Now I don't know why. I guess it's just I'm so used to getting all those HP, and like I started skipping the chest, and now like you don't have like 10 hearts, so you can die for no reason. And the check in Shadow was really. Yep.
Yeah, next time you might want to open a few more of those small chests at least until you have enough hearts to survive an Iron Knuckle.
Yeah, I keep dying to those, but like I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah, no, but you honestly didn't play very bad. It was pretty close there at the end. If if things had gone slightly different with that location of the light arrows, but definitely a good showing.
I'm really happy with how I played for the most part, considering I have not been active in this game in many years. Like some of the strats I went to, maybe some people in chat would have recognized them. Some of them are really old strats. Like the way I Mega Side Op past KZ is from like 2010 or something.
Nothing
so
wrong
no problem
with
for
school.
No problem for Shadow without overboots.
Okay. So when I got hover boots, I was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna not bother with getting Zelda's Lullaby. I'm gonna do boat skip, and I'm going to do my best to do Spirit Temple Bosky skip. And then I was on my way to Shadow, and I realized, wait, the Dead Hand chest isn't a big chest, so I can't do the easy boat skip setup, and I don't know how to do it otherwise.
Oh, no.
So I was like, and then I went to Kakariko, and I just opened my map and stood there for like a minute, wondering what to do.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh well, that's cool, man. That I played tonight, so like we don't stop the bracket. Like I know Glitchymon, we're gonna play against Glitchymon after this. Glitchymon, I know he's pretty good also, so maybe something.
Yeah, he's really good at the vanilla game, and he's also really good at accessible. But I feel like this format is I think the meta hasn't really been established, so there's Like a lot of the matches can go either way.
I've been running a lot of simulation like this past day. Check like if stuff like Ganon like Ganon travel super early. Like you get like once you get your 20 chews, or you buy 20 chews, you just go check the light arrow like right away. So what happens if you do that? Then like if you get the way of the arrow on the like specific location, and it's the same one that's the like light arrow, you're not like forced to rush it or something like that.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
And there's a couple of seeds I found auction in there. Like I found some crazy stuff. I was like, okay, like one seed was bow and bomb, so like there's definitely some meta strat you can do. Yeah.
I've seen some people do that, looking for a bow or a bomb bag.
Alright, I'm gonna go. I'm super tired though, so good game. I don't know how the bracket's gonna do after this. Like, it is like do if one pass or like do you like the top or bracket?
It's top 3 per group.
Top 3. So I have a good chance. I think we're 4 in the bracket.
Yeah, so because of the drops that ended up happening in the various groups, every group actually only has 4 active players, so only the bottom player from each group is going to get knocked out.
Okay.
So just don't lose all your matches and you'll probably be fine.
I win 1, so we'll see what happens next. I'm curious.
I wasn't really expecting to win this, because I know you're a pretty experienced bingo player. I haven't done bingo in a long time.
Wait, I have to clarify something. I'm not a bingo player. I never really played bingo. I do Beta Quest, which is totally different like that the bingo thing. Beta Quest is more about more specific glitches and stuff like that, which some are useful, but like in middle dungeon, like it's really different, I guess.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were a bingo player because you you commentated a lot of the Ocarina of Time championship series stuff. So I just assumed you were a bingo player.
Nah, I learned the game from there though.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, again, good race to both you guys. Bleeding Blue, you have any final words for our race?
No, it was a great race to watch and commentate. Good job to you both.
I still have one or two things to mention.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess so. I don't know if you guys were, if anyone's super confused about what I was doing in Ganon's castle.
Yeah.
Pretty clear you were looking at strat video.
Okay, well, the first thing I was doing was I was running back and forth through the tunnel of the scrubs because there's a trick where every time you run through it, every time you reload the central room of Ganon's castle, it duplicates all of the trial beams, and that spawns so many actors that it eventually despawns the black rock in front of light trial.
Cool.
But the problem is that what I didn't realize was in Randomizer, the trial barrier is pre-dispelled, so those beams aren't there, so you can't duplicate them. So I was just running back and forth through the tunnel trying to duplicate them, and I realized, wait, my game is not lagging at all. What's going on? And then I realized I literally can't do that trick. Now I have to actually learn how to clip through this block, but I didn't think I would have to learn that. So I looked up a couple strat videos on the fly, and Bakken Echoes was really, really good. So that kind of saved me, but I lost a lot of time there, so I was worried that might have cost me the race.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks to both our runners. If you aren't giving them a follow, you should do that. You should also give my co-commentator Bleeding Blue a follow. And of course, Speed Gaming. This weekend, there is more ZOOTR available. I don't know if there's anything going on Speed Gaming, but ZSR, Zelda Speedruns, 6 p.m. Eastern Time is our weekly race for the North American time slot. And then Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern is our European weekly time slot over on ZSR. Here on Speed Gaming, tomorrow there is some Wind Waker rando, Link to the Past rando, a whole bunch of good stuff going on. So stick around either way here on Speed Gaming or Zelda Speedruns. And of course, both our racers. Give them a follow. Anybody with some final words?
Thanks for commenting. Also.
Thanks for filling in.
Yeah. Thanks for racing kind of last
we're-
minute.
Yeah, we're gonna squeeze a Glitchymon somewhere. I'm not so worried about that.
I really wanted to. I was really looking forward to playing tonight, so I'm glad at
Yeah.
least I got to play
Well,
somebody.
to be honest, when I saw the chat, like all those good people and like 100 people was like, I'll do it. Like I'm here for commenting. Like I was going to be there for the whole night anyways. I'll do it. Yeah, sure. I don't regret it. Even like
Yeah,
if I
well-
play bad, I still think it was the good call to do.
well, I'm glad. Yeah, that was cool. Thanks everyone. I'm out.
Alright, dude.
Thank you.
That's all.